Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rimworld. For those of you joining me for the first time ever, my name is Sabouts, and if you're returning to my channel for another series, I'd like to welcome you back. We won't just be playing any regular old game of Rimworld. I've downloaded a whole set of mods here to tweak and create a unique experience. I've actually put together a story of a man and his dog trapped in a city on a planet swarming with the living dead. If that sounds interesting to you, you're going to want to stick around, but real quick, did you know that almost 64% of my views are generated from people who have not subscribed to the channel? If at the end of the video you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It's free to do, and it helps the channel out a lot. Now let's get this started. We're going to jump into New Colony. I cannot tell you guys enough how excited I am to play this. I've been playing it by myself for the last 4 days now, testing and tweaking the settings to make this absolutely perfect. And I'm finally sitting here, I'm recording it, I'm playing it, it's gonna be fun. So this is the scenario I've created. It's called Trapped in Hell. You are sent on a mission to investigate a planet which has lost communication with the rest of the United Pawn Nations, or the UPN. The only clue you have of the planet's fate is a final transmission that talks of the dead rising. After a brief encounter with pirates, you are forced to evacuate and make an emergency landing in a city on the planet's surface. It's abandoned. Something about this place is unsettling. So we're going to be starting with one person. He's also going to have a dog with him. We're arriving in our drop pod as we evacuate our ship. This is the list of items I'm bringing. There's a lot of different items here. And it seems like a lot to start with for the scenario, but once we get in here and we actually start playing and you guys see what we're up against, you're going to realize this is not going to be just a normal walk in the park. We're going to also be doing random and savage, because that, I feel, is the only way to play the game. Jumping in, I've already put together a seed that we're going to be playing on. That seed is zombies. And the globe coverage is at 50%. So if you would like to play along, down below in the description, you will find a link to all of the mods that I am using. You can use this seed here. You set the globe coverage to 50%, and you'll be able to play along as well and join me in trying to fight against the undead. Maybe you will survive longer than I will. Maybe I'll survive longer than you. I guess we're going to find out. Now, once we jump into this world, the reason I picked 50% is because it gives me a nice big palette here to work with, and a lot of different factions to interact with, even though the planet has been, for the most part, cut off from the rest of the Empire, or the United Pawns. The cities and stuff are still ran by looters, raiders, pirates, stuff like that. It's all, the entire planet's pretty much descended into chaos. Now, this is the zombie land settings that I am using for this playthrough, and these settings can be altered during the course of the playthrough. So as we progress, I have a full intentions to essentially modify this to make the game harder as we go forward. But I've already started out with it being pretty dang difficult. Let's go through this just really quickly so you can see what I mean. So when do zombies appear? They're going to come in when it is dark. They can also come as events. But every time it gets dark at night, zombies will rise from the ground. From where do zombies come? From the map edges. What will zombies attack? They are going to attack all creatures, including other enemies on the map, raiders, stuff like that, and also including animals. Could make it very hard for us to get meat as a food source if the zombies are attacking and consuming all of the animals, so we got to keep stuff like that in mind. What will zombies destroy? They will be able to destroy doors. Now, this setting only applies to regular zombies. Regular zombies will be able to break down all sorts of doors, but there are special zombies in the game that can break down walls, and I will get to that in a minute. Zombie senses are going to be normal. Their rage level will stay at the recommended setting. Zombies' health. Zombies will be easy to kill, but they will be numerous, and we will get on that here in a second. Zombies will eat injured creatures, and they will eat corpses. We have special zombies. There is a 1% chance for all of these special zombies to spawn. We've got suicide bomber zombies, toxic splashers, tanky operators, mining, and electrifying zombies. Some of these zombies here can break through walls. Some of these zombies are suicidal if you encounter them. Even though it's only a 1% chance to spawn, I assure you they will show up in the map because they showed up in all of my test games, and it's terrifying whenever you run into one. So having them be kind of a rare spawn does make it very exciting and unique. And again, like I said, some of this might get altered as we get deeper and deeper into surviving in the colony. So days until zombies come, we have 5 days to prepare ourselves until the zombies arrive. There's going to be never more than 2,500 zombies on the map. That is an astoundingly large amount of zombies. The colony multiplayer, I'm actually going to alter this right now because it did not save from when I altered it before, but the colony multiplier here, I'm going to put at 3. What this means is that when the colonies spawn, depending on how strong your colony is, the wealth of your colony, how many pawns you have, stuff like that, or how many colonists. And if you set this to 3 times the amount, then the game or the mod is going to automatically take whatever your value is and it's going to multiply it by 3, meaning that there is going to be a lot of zombies all the time. And the stronger we get, the more there's going to be. In fact, we have it set right now to 100 zombies per colonist, and we're only starting with 1 colonist. And 3 times the amount. So it'll fill the map. It's pretty terrifying. Zombie speed, I've left most of this stuff to normal. I did reduce the zombie infections. Actually, it didn't save that either. In my test runs, I found that this was just completely ruined everything. Especially because I'm only playing with 1 character. So I actually had reduced this down to 10%. It's really rare for a zombie bite to infect people. I know that kind of seems sort of detrimental to what the idea of zombies are, but we're just gonna set to 10%. We're gonna assume that this colony was, billions and billions of people, and the zombies were consuming people's flesh and biting people, and well, most people succumbed to their injuries or were devoured by the zombies. Only 10% of those people actually bitten had rose up, which in the grand scheme, billions and billions of people on a planet, that's still hundreds of millions of zombies. So that's why I have that set low, because in my practice runs, like I said, if you got infected with your 1 character because a zombie managed to sneak up on you around a corner, then the whole playthrough was over. And I'm trying to tell a story here. The difficulty is a part of it, but the story is a part of it too. So that is everything for that. We'll go ahead and hit next and bring us into the world. This is the world here. It's a pretty nice planet. I found this to be, I generated a lot of planets. I found this to be very well set up between the different biomes and everything, and the amount of factions. We can see there's a lot of enemy factions, a lot of abandoned cities too. But the place that we're going to be crash landing is right here in between this nice little cross section of roads. Now, every single time you load into this map, even if you use the same seed, you will get a different city every time. So I have practiced in this location before, but the city is different in every one of my practice games, so I will not know what we're going to be getting into when I jump into this. It's going to be a complete mystery to me, and I'll be just as surprised as you guys once we get into it. If you take a look, the reason I chose this location real quick, obviously it's very well connected with roads. We got roads going to the north, a lot of friendly people up there, some enemies. Down to the south, a little bit more enemies, but it gives us a nice variety that if we manage to survive and recruit more people and expand, we can use the caravan to kind of do a couple of missions outside of here and see how bad the zombie infection has really spread and become. I also chose this location because it is flat, which is just a lot nicer for generating the cities that we're going to be inside of. And it's also got a growing period year round. That is crucial, in my opinion, for the start that we're going to be doing, because we are only playing with 1 colonist, and food is going to be a problem. Once the map starts filling with zombies, we'll need to be able to grow food 24/7 if we stand any hope of even surviving. All right, let's go ahead and quickly click advanced, because I am going to be playing on a larger medium. I did try the larger ones, and well, they did work fine with my computer. I was worried that later on in the playthrough they would bog down, so we will just be doing a slightly larger map there. Now, I've already set up my character, and because this is more of a story-based playthrough with some difficulty added to it, my character is, I don't want to say overpowered, but he's definitely exceeds the points amount. But no matter, he's still he's got a lot that he's up against, so this is not going to be a walk in the park. Now, our character here, he's an officer cadet and a shock trooper. His biological age is 27, chronological 268. You can see his stats over here to the right: shooting 17, melee 8, construction 8. He's got some passion tickers here. Obviously animals, because he does start with his dog. But he's not very good at artistic, not good at cooking at all, but he could learn it. He can't even do artistic. And there's a couple other things he lacks here as well. So he was sent here essentially to deal with, or to find out what happened to this planet. We're going to get right into it and get started. We've only got 5 days to prepare, and let me tell you, that is not a lot of time. It sounds like a lot, but in all my practice games, I never fully finished everything I needed to do to prepare myself for when the zombies did eventually arrive. And they come in numbers, let me tell you. Alright, so here we are. You step out of your escape pod and look up to see your ship as it burns up in the atmosphere. We just made it out in time. You reach down and gently stroke the fur on your dog's head. She looks up at you, and for a brief moment you see worry in her eyes. It's okay, girl, we'll figure things out. You intentionally aimed for the city in hopes of finding help, but that idea quickly fades out of mind as you lay eyes upon a ghost town. Where is everybody? All of a sudden, as if in answer back to your question, gunshots erupt in the distance. Your dog takes a defensive stance by your side. She's familiar with the sounds, battle-hardened and well-trained from her years as the companion in the Great Galactic Civil War. You turn around and start to gather your equipment out of the escape pod. Your pup stands behind you, watching and scanning the ruins for movement, for a threat. With your equipment on and your gear shouldered, you turn around and face the city. The ruins stand tall in front of you, some of them already in the process of being reclaimed by the planet. You know you'll have to take shelter in them if you want to stand any hope in surviving. You reach down to gently rest your hand on your dog's head. You can sense she's worried, but ready. Come on, girl, let's go. You both head off into the ruins. What the hell happened to this city? To the planet? You stop mid-sentence as your eyes settle on pools of dried blood littering the streets and sidewalks. The final question escapes your lips. A feeling of deep within your chest builds up. Is that fear? You reach down and run your fingers across the stains. What the hell happened to these people? Alright, so a good way to get into it here. And there we go. Luckily, we spawned in the center of the city, and we didn't spawn on a building, which has happened to me before in my past runs, and it usually results in all of my gear being destroyed. So this is already gone 10 times better than in the past. So I do have the Fog of War mod. You can see we have no idea what we're really up against. We don't know what the map looks like. We don't know where the best spot to build is, and frankly, that is a terrible thing because we're going to run out of time very rapidly. So we need to look around for an ideal location to construct a base. Things we're looking for, sort of an area that we can kind of build walls around and protect it and close it in from zombies being able to get in. We're also looking for an area with dirt so we can start growing. That part's not as important because we can work on it, but we do want to keep it in mind as we search. Now let's go ahead and get geared up real quick. We start with a couple of different things here that we brought with us as we crash landed. Also, why don't I go ahead and get my dog here. Let's see, we'll get her renamed to Inara. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you've been around my channel, you're familiar with Inara. She's actually my in real life dog. So it wouldn't be appropriate if she wasn't in the game. And I'm going to go ahead and get this equipped, and we'll equip that. Oh, looks like Inara's already kind of searching around. She's probably trying to find food. We got some silver in here, potatoes, pemmican, insect jelly, more silver, all right. So this city has been just completely abandoned, and it's kind of interesting because it looks like, for the most part, people kind of just left in a hurry. There's stuff lying all over the place. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So we're going to want to be careful. We'll navigate around here and see what we've got. All right, so I'm already kind of liking the looks right here. It looks like here's some wood. We won't claim it just yet, but coming down here, actually, that's interesting. It's like a sort of a courtyard or of some sorts. Got a Labrador Retriever down there. Let's come down and around here. Okay, so just a nice big building there. Why don't we check this alleyway real quick? I don't like to mess around too much because I like to get started as soon as I possibly can. Usually I do always lose the first day to kind of looking around because I want to make sure I construct in a spot that's I'm gonna be able to utilize it to the best of its ability. This actually isn't looking too bad. Solar panel right here. Dirt area kind of here with a building. Very good sized building, and it actually comes into maybe more buildings and dirt over here. Ooh, even like a rock mound. Ooh, with some steel. Okay, I don't know if I've seen that. That's not too often that you actually see hills in these cities, but you get them from time to time. That's always useful. I'm almost thinking of here, though. This is a huge block. Let's go this way real quick and see what else we've got. We'll speed it up a bit so we're moving kind of faster. Okay, so this is like a 1-block area. Sometimes those are the best to building because they don't take up too much space. It is just a giant building. We've got another block here, which is a little bit more multiple buildings and grassy area. And another 1-block area here. Oh, no. This is a couple blocks. That's pretty big. All right, let's do a loop around here. So this is just like one massive block. The roads always make for good places to construct your walls. So this could all be reclaimed. Let's see. We could start here and push. It looks like this is all building. Wow. So we could move into this whole building, eventually take all of this over. I know I'm kind of forward thinking here. I don't know, but it kind of makes a little bit more sense to maybe start smaller. Maybe just take this section over. I can always divide this up and just move into here. There is dirt. I was thinking this 1-block area, but it's all building. I'd have to remove the floor to get to the dirt. I do want to stay kind of in the center of the map. The nice thing about staying in the center is it allows for almost equal distance travel around the entire map, and the zombies do spawn from the edge, so the farther away we are from the edge, the better. The less likely the zombies are going to wander just straight to our base. You know, obviously, if we're built like right here, any zombie that spawns here is going to be drawn right to the base because of the sounds that the base does make. So staying here would be pretty good. I mean, this could be utilized. We could actually go ahead and wall this off here, remove the door, utilize that as part of the wall. We could come up, build a wall down and around. It'd take us a little bit of time. Like I said, can be done. We could do the entrance maybe someplace down here with a kill box. So when zombies come in, or most importantly, raiders, well, we could start kill boxing them. I could even do a kill box in one of these buildings. The next thing then is to look inside these buildings and see what we've got. Ooh, so we actually do have a steel butcher's table and an electric smith that we could utilize. Oh, and look at this. Wow, what a find. Yeah, this is definitely going to be worth making the base because we've already got a bunch of food to last us the next 5 days whilst we focus on building. So that means we won't have to worry too much about food, and a couple batteries too we could utilize. I could even build the walls across here and maybe down and around here to try and get these solar panels. I cannot remove and reinstall them. I can only destroy them, so they're stuck where they're stuck until we eventually research our own. So we're going to want to utilize those. It'll be early game power. There is a big, massive grid you can see here. All these solar panels are hooked up to this grid. There's a couple batteries here and there, but as the zombies start pouring onto the map, most of the grid will be destroyed. The power is not going to last us forever. But yeah, that's pretty good. So let's look and see. Perfect. So we've already got a bedroom here we could utilize. Yes, more bedroom equipment. This is good. So we won't have to worry about building that. We can start moving some of that stuff around. Okay, another kind of bedroom here. This is a separate building. And we've got silver, a gun, and just a small room here. All right, and this actually is already acting as a wall. temporary walls. So there is no doubt in my mind, guys, that this is going to be our base. It's certainly the area. So we're going to go ahead and claim everything here up to that point. Eventually, I'll probably claim more of it. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. So let's get that started. We'll utilize this as our bedroom for now, but eventually, actually, let's see. I think I'll end up making this. I know I'm going to tear some of this down. A lot of this wood has to go. We have roofs and stuff that need to be removed, but the very first thing that needs to happen is we've got to get the walls up, because anything that happens inside of this base can happen when there is no walls. Or I'm sorry, when there is walls and the zombies are out and about. So let's just go ahead and focus on all of that. Now I do want to quickly jump into here. We're going to want to set constructing as our #1 priority. That's going to be the most important thing our character can do from this point forward. That way he can get everything constructed. Now he is going to go play a game, and I'm going to allow him to run off and do that, because him running around and messing around with the different wreck and stuff will actually paint a pretty good picture of the map and allow me too to see what kind of games he likes and where he locates those, so we can eventually move them. So there he goes there. I'm going to have him uninstall and reinstall this right here. He will uninstall that and reinstall it. Over here at some point, this could be deconstructed for more wood. And these are steel end tables, which are slightly impressive. That's normal. Normal. We want to try to look for stuff that's also high quality. So actually deconstruct that and take the slightly impressive bed. Perfect. And then the end tables can also be uninstalled and reinstalled. So he'll get on that. That'll get his first bedroom set up, and that's probably all we're going to get done for today. Maybe get the light moved real quick. Or get it removed anyways. Because I already know that I want to make this my stockpile zone. Storing all my goods, and we will allow all of these meals, and all of this stuff will also have to be carried in, so we'll allow that. And I'm going to go ahead and allow all this wood. Oh, we already got dogs eating dogs. That didn't take a whole lot of time. He's going to go have himself a meal here. We need to find ourselves a nice dining room table someplace with some chairs. There's no point in building them, because I know there's going to be some on the map. And there we go. Our friend has already found them. It is a normal steel table with some stools. I know we can do better than that. So we're going to look and see what we can find. Eventually, I'm going to get rid of all of this. Actually, I'll probably work on that now. I just want to make sure I got his bedroom kind of set up. So he's got some place to sleep tonight. He should get right to constructing that. There we go. And we will actually reassign him to that. And I know we're going to want to build a sort of temporary door here, so we have an easier way to get to the stockpile. All right, he's going to grab some wood to get that door constructed. And now our friend is going to get some sleep. So something else we want to do right now is, if you didn't notice in the beginning, our guy is actually a night owl. And I intentionally did this because the zombies spawn, oh my goodness, the zombies spawn at night. So it does make it a little bit more difficult, because when our guy is going to be awake, moving around, making a bunch of noise, it's also going to be when zombies are on the move and spawning onto the map. So it's going to add a little bit more challenge, but then there's also kind of the sort of double standard of, since we're a night owl, we'll be awake at night when the zombies are on the move. So it's probably a good thing. That way we can't really be blindsided by zombies. So we're going to set his work schedule here to be pretty much completely opposite. We'll go from about 7 to, I think, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then everything else will be working. At some point, we might set a time up for him to do nothing but recreation. But for now, we'll let him fill that recreation at his leisure. And we can set up a more permanent kind of schedule once he's done doing all the initial things I really need him to do to get us set up. All right. And he's getting to that point. So let's, while he's sleeping, let's go ahead and figure out what we want to do. Now, I don't know if I want to build my walls out of wood, because wood, if you haven't noticed by now, is a very limited resource, and we're going to need it for a couple other things. Especially going to need it for things like fire and warmth when the inevitable happens and the power grid goes out. And I can assure you the power grid will go out at some point. So I don't think I want to utilize all my wood. If we get to the point where, let's see. What we'll do is we'll probably use wood for any longer stretches of wall. We'll try to use something else for shorter. I think I'm just going to go ahead and wall that off. We'll eliminate this door and actually put it here. And we'll put wood there for now. That's going to be a door. Yeah, you know, there's not a whole lot of bricks either. So let's just go ahead and use the wood for now, because eventually the wood walls will all be ripped down and replaced with stone. So that way, and maybe even eventually steel, so that way they can hold up the zombies better. So let's plan on walling these off. I'll eliminate this and put a wall here as well. I could also not wall that off and just utilize this as my space. Instead of building into here, but I feel like this extra space would be handy. I guess it depends on what's in this building. We can go ahead and take a look at that in a second. Let's go ahead and wood wall this. Actually, this is probably, I don't want to say one of the easier starts I got, but it's definitely a pretty good start, because the I can wall all this off very easily. There's already a lot of walls here. Now, do I want to bring it down and take over this solar panel? I mean, we definitely could use the extra real estate for growing crops down here. That would require me to bring the wood wall down and around here. It's going to take a little bit more wood, and it's going to link us up with this wood wall. But we can always just bring that up here, or even here. So I say we go ahead and do that. It's not that much more wood, really, in the grand scheme. And like I said, it will allow me to eventually expand maybe into like this building. If we make it that far, we grow that big. Probably just go ahead and do that, actually, because I know I'm already going to expand into here. It's valuable to take the space that you want now, because frankly, you're not going to be able to do it later. It only gets harder and harder as the map fills with more and more zombies. So whatever we got to do here. Our friend's grabbing all of the wood. He's just going to get these walls up. That's mainly going to be our mission for today, is to get the walls up. Going for a little bit of a walk here. Let me just quickly jump into zones. I need to constantly check the home area. Okay, we're pretty good. I'll leave it as is for now. I just want to make sure that it doesn't expand. Sometimes when you start messing around with recreational stuff around the area, you'll set up home zones, and you definitely don't want your pawn running off and getting killed when the zombies hit. All right, he's got that door done. I'll get him to deconstruct all this here soon. We need to find more wood. We're going to run low quick. I'm not going to cut any trees down, because these trees are in my building area and I'm going to save them. I do want to deconstruct this door leading outside. Shuttle Crash. A planet-bound shuttle is crashing nearby. If the crew survives the impact, they will be badly wounded. The crashed ship can be deconstructed for useful resources. The crew is not affiliated with any faction, which means they can be rescued and may join you freely, or captured for recruitment or slavery purposes. All right, let's go check it out. We're going to want to be careful. And it's what, right up here? Oh yeah, we've got somebody here. Oh, we've got 2 people. 3 people. All right. Well, I wasn't really thinking we were going to have something like this happen this early, but I guess now's a better time than any, because if we don't start grabbing up people, it may be that much harder later on when the zombies show up. Let's grab all of this, and I think I'm going to take this whole building actually with me. And we can plan on setting up an area maybe. Do I want to rescue all of them? Let's take a quick peek and see what we've got. 5 hours till bleeding out, 4 hours and 12. So this person would be the first person we'd have to rescue. They are a coma child, brawler, body purist. They're neurotic. They get... they're not that great. We've got Sir Michael here. He's a music lover and a sailor, which means pretty much a ton of stuff's disabled, but he can shoot, do animals. He's pretty useless. And then Hardin, a medieval lordling and a hive world drone. Interesting. Art disabled, researching disabled, incapable of intellectual artistic. He's a careful shooter though. He's got great memory and he's tough. Or she, I'm sorry. Hey, that actually means maybe less chance to get bitten by zombies, right? Or a zombie bite piercing the flesh. But just good at constructing, mining, and really nothing else. Frankly, though, the only person that's probably halfway decent. And with the careful shooter, if we can get them trained up to shoot, they could be pretty useful to have around. Just running around and doing more constructing, whilst I can focus on some other things like harvesting materials off the map could be useful. I think we will rescue one of these people. I think we will let the other 2 pass on. We will go ahead and assign them a room here for now. Get them back to the ship. These people here, I'm not even going to worry about stripping. Wow, there's somebody here who actually landed as well and died. And they would have been wonderful. So it's unfortunate that they were the one that died. They were iron-willed. They were a fast walker. They had an annoying voice, but whatever. Couldn't do dumb labor. But look at that cooking and intellectual. We need ourselves a researcher anyways. My guy is not... He could research, but he's just not the best at it. All right, we're going to want to go ahead too and allow ourselves to grab some of these wolves, I think, at some point here. There will be a bunch of dead animals that will start appearing on the map, and we're going to want to grab them up because that is food. Where are you going, my friend? You're rescuing him. You're taking a little bit of a different route. That's fine. Then it gives us a chance to see what's in this area. And look at that. More wood. Perfect. And some pemmican, which I think we'll want to grab. What is this? Hops? We don't need that. Herbal medicine. It's not bad to have to use on prisoners or animal. We've got a pretty good amount of medicine here. What we really want to find is Glitter World medicine. And I know these abandoned cities have it sometimes. You just got to be able to, you know, look in the right places. We better get this stuff inside too, because animals are eating it and that's going to go bad. So does this person need to be tended? They do. So we're going to go ahead and tend to them. They've got stabs, gunshots. We won't give them any medicine right now. We'll just patch those up and see if they hang in. Hopefully they'll join us. We could just technically capture them as a prisoner, but we won't worry about it. We'll see if having a room that's halfway decent convinces them joining us is the right decision. We could even give them this nightstand if we wanted to, although these are all mediocre and such. All right, so let's finish this up. And once our character's done with that, I'm going to have him go ahead and prioritize hauling all of this stuff inside. Actually, there's an easier way to do that. I do have a mod. I have a mod. Haul urgency. We could actually just set all that to be hauled besides that. There we go. And he'll get all of that hauled into our stockpile. Walls built here. We do need to finish this wall, so he'll hopefully get on that. This will have to be deconstructed so we can put a wall up. He'll finish that wall. That's good. We still need to search this building. I'm not sure what's going on here. There he goes, getting everything hauled inside where it'll be safe. Yeah, that wall. We got to finish clearing this building. These doors need to be turned into walls. My exit and entrance into my base will be through this building for now until I can think of a different area. I might turn this whole area into a kill box. I just gotta figure it out. I guess it's fine if he wants to use that dining room for now, but we do want to set up our own dining room at some point. Probably in this area, maybe a dining / rec area. Feeding a lavish meal here to our friend, that's fine. They'd be more likely to join that way. And we're off to finish the wall. Looks like our character is going to start getting his schedule on track too because he hasn't gone to sleep yet. Oh, nope, he's going to get some rest now. Okay, that's fine. All right, and there we go. So I think now is a great place to leave it off. This is great. I'm very happy with this start. Out of all my practice runs, I'd say this is probably the second best start I've gotten. I did get a better one in a practice run, but that's okay. We can definitely utilize this space and grow into it. Things we're going to want to worry about in the next episode. We've only got 3 days now till the zombies come. I told you this would go pretty quick. So obviously keeping our friend here well fed and taken care of. That way we can hopefully get a recruit to kind of distribute the workload. If not, no biggie, but it will help. We're going to want to get both of these doors deconstructed and walls put up. Make sure that the rest of the base is secure. Get a wall put up here and maybe just knock one of these blocks out so I can get over here and see what we've got going here. Because I might expand into this building too, just depending on, have a nice big space here to kind of utilize. It seems like a lot of space for one person, and it is a lot of space for one person, but we've got to think of the future because once zombies start populating the map, it'll be that much harder to claim new tiles and buildings and to expand out. So the more we can grab in the beginning, the better. We can kind of grow into that space, turning a lot of this into farm space because I will deconstruct most of these buildings to make farm space. But yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So if you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave that like. And if you are new to my channel, you're going to want to keep up with this series. It's going to be a great one. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you next time.